The download message for this reading is that there are moments when a breakthrough is near, and that's when the shadows stir. Sometimes spirit will allow the evil eye to brush the edges of your field, not to break you, but to awaken your fire. You are a transmuter. You are not sent here to crumble under curses. You are sent here to transform them into crowns. You are not a sponge for the hatred of the world. You are a furnace, and every stone thrown becomes a stepping stone. Every venom sent becomes a potion which fuels your next vision. When the enemy strikes, it is only proof that your voice carries thunder across realms. Do not bow your head. Channel the energy. Speak your truth louder. What was meant to weaken you will now ignite your rising. What do we have at the foundation of the reading, please? Six of Pentacles in reverse, Taurus energy at the foundation of the reading. There's this energy I feel inside the collective regarding a lot of you that have been working on a particular path, moving towards something that you're trying to manifest. There's some frustration here because something hasn't quite materialized the way you would have expected by now. It's an energy where I feel a lot of you feel let down, almost cheated, because you've put so much focus on something and it's not here yet. But you need to understand that just because you're not winning right now doesn't mean that you've lost your way or you've done something wrong. And it also doesn't mean that you're off path, okay? Sometimes Spirit, the universe, is going to delay some sort of visible victories to strengthen the invisible ones in your life. Now, sometimes the most important ground you're ever going to gain is the ground no one else can see. See, you're basing a lot of your successes or what you think should be success on what you are seeing external to you in the world around you. And before Spirit can actually bring forward this success for you in a material sense, they need you to understand that it's much deeper than that. They need you to feel it on a soul level because this is something that is going to last, right? These kinds of victories, no one can take away from you. A lot of these victories that you're seeing other people have around you are here today, gone tomorrow. Yours is taking longer because it's going to stay longer. It's everlasting. You are not where you are by accident, okay? You are wherever you need to be because your roots still need to deepen. There's this fight inside of you, I feel, that needs to become unbreakable before you can cast this manifestation out into the world. See, the world measures all of us by trophies, right? But Spirit actually measures us by transformation. So if you're not winning at something yet, maybe it's because you're not here to win in the capacity that you think you should be winning in, but rather you're here to change everything. This is a new way of winning. See, when you have full faith in Source, in Spirit, in the Divine, you trust that every high and low is in accordance with the path that you need to walk. You also understand that sometimes you have to walk through these valleys because Spirit has a job for you. And a part of all of this as well sees us working in a space where we start to detach ourselves from these societal norms. So with this Six of Pentacles coming out at the foundation, the root chakra of the reading, I feel that Spirit is really wanting you to become more confident in the space that you have gotten yourself to in this moment. Because what it takes to graduate on from that space is fully embracing it. The moment you say, you know what, I'm okay with this, is the moment that Spirit starts graduating you on from that space because you've learned everything you needed to learn in that space. The wisdom has been gained, and that's what this whole entire thing is about. All of us need to walk a path where we extract wisdom for the universe, life lived. So I encourage all of you to really embrace your surroundings the best you can. And I know that everything is subjective, okay? But I'm really speaking to people here who are on a path where they're trying to manifest something into their everyday waking life. But you take the messages as you see fit in accordance with where you are at on your particular journey. Three of Wands, Temperance, Death card, Chariot. So all of this is following what I'm saying, okay? Because this Three of Wands is really speaking about you embracing the environment you're in, whatever it is you're doing, right? The space where you think that you should have had more by now, the space where you feel cheated out of something, just embrace it. Okay, fine. I'll accept this, right? And then boom, as soon as you do that, Spirit starts moving you forward. Temperance. This is an energy that is representing your purpose. Death card, transformation, transforming from that space, which goes along exactly with what I said about Spirit measuring you by your transformations, not by your trophies. And then the Chariot card, which is an energy of victory. You're moving on from this space now. You know, a real basic example that I'm being called to give all of you, but it's like you're living in maybe a house or an apartment somewhere that feels very temporary to you, and you keep looking for something else, but you just can't find anything that is suitable. So rather than trying to fight that feeling, settle in a bit, right? Decorate the place. And I'm telling you, if you do this and you really just embrace that space that you're in, you absorb it and you become okay with that moment, with that space, Spirit will start graduating you on from it. And then you will find yourself saying, I just decorated this place, right? See, Spirit's funny like that. And this is where Spirit laughs, right? I'm telling you, I've actually put this into practice in my own life and it really works. You know, finding yourself in an uncomfortable space and you just can't quite manifest yourself out of it. So you just completely change your perspective. You accept it, you embrace it, and then boom, you're gone. What do we have? The Sacral Spirit? And there it is, 3 of Wands. Okay, so we just saw this card on the bottom of the deck and it came out. So whenever that happens, it puts a lot of weight and emphasis on that energy, okay? So it's like here you are, you're stuck in this space, you're feeling cheated out of something, you're not able to manifest this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden you embrace it and Spirit starts preparing you to move forward, right? This 3 of Wands, it represents travel, it represents expansion, but it's also connected to some sort of vision that you guys have, right? See, a lot of you are in this space right now where you feel like you've reached this dead end, right in the middle of manifesting something. You feel like Spirit has forgotten about you, but that's not the case at all. I'm hearing that some of you are just not hearing the guidance correctly, and this could have a lot to do with the fact that maybe you're not meditating, you're not communing with Spirit. There might be a bit of a blockage there, but Spirit's been with you this whole time. This was all a part of the plan. You know, and everything we're speaking about here is a more detailed way of speaking about embracing the moment, making the best out of what you have and where you are at in this moment. I mean, this is manifestation 101. This is how you do it. This is how you manifest the good stuff, is when you take on this mindset. Because nothing is by chance. You're in every space that you're in because you need to extract some sort of information or wisdom. There's a message that's coming through here, and it's kind of staticky, which I feel is a part of the message. But there's a certain outcome that a lot of you are attached to, right? This is one of these moments when you make plans and God laughs, right? But in saying that, God's plan is always so much better. It's so good that it's impossible for us to even understand or compartmentalize what he's doing in the moment, right? It takes us getting on the other side of this energy and looking back and saying, wow, that's genius. I'm also hearing something about Spirit calling some of you where logic can't follow, right? I just heard taking the path least traveled, a path that isn't even on the map, a path where you don't have a guarantee, a path where your vision seems to reach its end, but you have a pull. It's like you have this whisper in your gut. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Judgment. Pluto, Scorpio energy at the solar plexus. I just heard, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I need to do it. That's the direction you need to go in. Now, I just want to say something here. This message and all of my messages are for those who are deeply connected to their intuition and know how to move in alignment, not recklessness, okay? If you're not sure, you need to sit with it. Any messages I channel through here from Spirit will never lead you into chaos. They're meant to lead you through transformation. I really felt the need to say that here because this message about you don't know why you need to do this, but you just need to do it is echoing inside of my mind right now. You see, when the universe, when Spirit, when the divine, when God needs you to go in a certain direction, you're almost never going to have the details or a roadmap. All you have is your intuition, is that pull. All you have and all you're allowed to have to go down that path is your blind faith that it's going to work out, which is a result of this unbreakable connection that you have between you and Source. Goes right back to what I said about taking the path least traveled. Some of you are at a point in your life where you've exhausted every road. It's like every road has led you nowhere. But what if, right? What if the unknown road is the only one that leads to everything? We signed up to walk the path that we're actually afraid to walk in this very moment. See, when you're a light warrior, a chosen one, right? And just to be clear here, a chosen one is the kind of person who is destined to be a hero, right? Because you have unique gifts. You're here to break curses in your family lineage. You're here to fulfill something. You have a destiny, right? But you're not called to safe roads. You're called to the wilderness, to sort of unmarked trails. You're called to spaces where bridges don't even exist yet. You have to build them while walking. So if you're feeling this kind of pull, but you're too scared to go, that's not a sign to stop. That's actually your soul confirming to you that this is where the story changes. And you need to remember that spirit is always going to meet you where courage begins, okay? Judgment at the solar plexus. Now, your solar plexus is all connected to your confidence, your personal power, your drive forward. With the judgment card here, this is you breaking out of the chains that have been restricting you to a certain timeline, a certain path, inside a kind of maze, inside a kind of matrix that some of you have been in for far too long. You want the breakthroughs? Well, they're there for you. But the breakthroughs that you have access to are the ones that look nothing like anything anyone has ever seen. Your path is unique, and this judgment card is you awakening to this truth. It's also representing this inner calling, right? I don't know why I'm doing this, but I need to do it. What do we have? The heart spirit? Whew. Ace of Wands. Fire energy at the heart. There's some sort of emotional blocks, some sort of grief, even betrayal that a lot of you are overcoming right now. It's on the other side of this because I feel that all of that is trying to keep you from this path, right? But getting on the other side of this is what is going to allow this new door to open up for you. Now, we are all bombarded with these distractions in our everyday waking life. It's going to show up for all of us a lot differently than the next. But the sooner you start to realize that all of these things were meticulously crafted and placed on your path to distract you from your destiny, the faster you will start manifesting these things into your life. There's a lot of distraction in the collective energy right now. Some could argue it's always there, but there seems to be an increase in it right now. And this is something that I'll pick up on right before people are getting ready to step through this portal, right? And this could very well have everything to do with this new moon. It's like the new moon is seeing you setting yourself up. So by the time the full moon comes, you can release this manifestation out into the collective. Right now, very much feels like a time for putting together your game plan, right? And this is something that we all have access to every moon cycle. You manifest under the new moon, then you release that manifestation out into the universe during the full moon. Build up, release. Build up, release. I just heard that there's a number of you that need to come to some sort of peaceful resolution with an energy here that is blocking you on your path. It's like everyday circumstance, right? Things that when looked at from a universal vantage point, right, don't matter. Sure, it matters right now in your everyday waking life, but the universe doesn't even see these finer details. The universe just sees that they need to get you from point A to point B. Everything in between is just noise. It barely registers from that universal vantage point. And that's where all the distraction exists inside your everyday waking life. It's going to show up in people, behavioral patterns, addictions, everything we're bombarded with every single day living inside this third density. But if you can somehow start compartmentalizing what I'm saying to all of you here and understand that these things are an everyday part of life and that they're always going to show up in one form or another, then you can start devising a plan so you can navigate yourself around these energies when they begin to surface in your life. You know, it's very common to be manifesting something, everything is going smoothly. You're just a moment away from everything taking off, and then boom, something happens, right? Somebody comes into your life, some event takes place. like a coordinated effort. It's like something knows what you're getting ready to accomplish in your life, but it's unseen. Though it shows up in the scene, right? It shows up in the people around us. They're used as kinds of vessels to deliver the will of some sort of force. This is a really great indication of how monumental your manifestations are. When you feel this blocked, when you feel completely incapable of bringing forward what it is you're trying to do in your life, because every time you do, it seems like in the 11th hour, something unfolds. Why such an effort? Right? If you're so insignificant, then why so much of an emphasis on what little old you is manifesting? My answer for you there is that you don't see yourself the way this unseen force sees you. You're hidden in plain sight. You don't even see it. You feel it. This unseen force has been waiting for you. It knew that you would always come. Here you are just trying to live your life and be happy, not knowing that you have a whole destiny attached to your time here in this life cycle. So having said all of that, the takeaway there with that Ace of Wands at the heart is that you need to focus on finding peace within these things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because you need to start creating room and space for what actually does matter. And it all has to do with your mission, your time down here. Once you start to realize this, you'll begin aligning with what it is you're actually trying to manifest. You haven't been forgotten, and you haven't been cheated out of anything. You're just meant to walk a path that no one else has gone down. What do we have at the throat, please? The Fool. Perfect. Right there at the throat. Okay, so there's this overwhelming sense of this new beginning. It's all over this energy here, okay? And this follows the message that I delivered regarding you don't know why you need to do something. You just know that you need to do it. Because the Fool is an energy of spontaneity. It's an energy that's taking chances, right? I'm hearing something about, well, I mentioned a little something about this in regards to having exhausted every road, right? Every path. But there's one other one that I see it in my mind's eye. It's interesting because the image I'm seeing, it looks a whole lot like the Fool card from the other decks where he's actually walking off a cliff, right? But it's an energy of stepping out on faith, knowing that spirit will catch you, right? It's not literally walking off a cliff. It's just taking the path least traveled with blind faith. That's the message. And this Fool card at this throat chakra positioning here is highlighting your truth that is being suppressed, I feel, by some sort of fear of taking the unknown road. We've been getting similar messages in some of the other zodiac readings recently. Like I mentioned in the Virgo reading, something about the greatest successes in life are typically going to be down a path that is going to take a bit of work to get down, right? But the result of going down that path is so monumental. And again, it's all unique to your particular mission statement here. You're not here to just do what everybody else has done. And now, more than ever, meaning in this time we're living in, look around at the world. Everybody's just trying to be carbon copies of somebody else who came before them. Very rarely do you come across people who are doing something truly unique or different, or just even trying to be different. Right? There's nothing new under the sun. I'm not saying that you need to reinvent the wheel, whatever it is you're doing, but I just feel that Spirit has a particular path for you that is going to at least allow you to stand out amongst the crowd. What do we have at the third eye, please? Ace of Wands again. Okay, so from two different decks. Perfect. And this follows what I said beautifully about you standing out in the crowd, right? Now, right here we have the salamander, which represents transformation. And then we have the Ace of Wands again, which is representing this beginning. So all three of these cards represent beginning, a new beginning, spontaneity. And this Ace of Wands is right there at that third eye chakra, okay? All connected to your intuition. It's like you're an artist and Spirit is your producer, right? That's what this energy feels like to me. It's like Spirit is riding shotgun with you. Spirit's the navigator. So you mustn't forget this. When you choose to walk this sort of path, the way you can always assure victory is by having Spirit with you at all time. And how do you do that, right? Well, you commune. you meditate, things like this. You put that energy into everything you do, every decision you make. Frame it with, okay, is this in alignment with my highest good and the highest good of all? If you start doing this and you dedicate yourself to living honestly by that kind of credo, your life will quickly start to transform. You'll start to calibrate with the divine's will for your life. Things will just start to get out of your way. Sure, there's always going to be twists and turns in the road. There's always going to be something that comes up, but you'll always be able to get around it if you understand how this works. You know, this world we live in, as a light warrior, right? Somebody who's here to just help make the world a better place. This is, really what it all comes down to, right? You're all birthed into this world that is fighting a war with you from the moment of inception without you even realizing it, all with the purpose of trying to get you to take the knee, to give up your allegiance to spirit, to source. But that's the thing. When you are truly chosen for a unique path like yours, you always have that voice inside of you. You carry it with you wherever you go, even when you slip into the darkness, right? And most light warriors do. You're not born on your path. No, you have to go through the darkness. That's what all of this is about. You have to gather that wisdom by having walked through your own kind of hell. That's what makes you this warrior. But that voice inside of you always carries you through. You're carved from a kind of fire and stone, and the fear that they've tried to manifest into your life has become your war cry. And the way you charge forward inside this space is by overcoming your own individual circumstances like we have been outlining here for all of you. What do we have at the crown place, Spirit? 5 of Swords, Aquarius energy at the crown. So we're coming back down to earth a little bit now, which is interesting because we're at the crown chakra, which represents spirit. But the energy that I get here at this crown is what spirit wants you to focus on right now. It's time to start terminating everything from your life that is not in alignment with your highest good. I also feel that most, if not all of these things have all been illuminated to all of you. This is all because of the astrology. We've come out of all of these retrogrades now, and a lot of us are armed with a new kind of sight to see, right? We know what's what. And at this point, if you don't actually put action behind some of those things and make a change in your circumstances the way that you've been guided to do, then you only have yourself to blame for any lack of growth in your life. Because I feel that most everything you need to know to start making some sort of forward momentum has been illuminated to you. And again, just that phrasing right there, whatever comes to your mind when I'm saying that, that's what it is. It's okay. We all lie to ourselves, right? Because sometimes the truth is just too hard to accept. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, it is the only thing that is typically holding a lot of you back from taking action. And once you get further down on your path, you will look back and you'll say, it took me a while to really accept that. But yeah, it was that thing that was actually holding me back, right? And you know, the 5 of Swords at this crown position is interesting because it's speaking about something that is trying to disconnect you from spirit. It's masquerading as a kind of false light. Simply put, it's something that is weaving its way around your everyday waking life that is trying to distract you long enough so you're not able to commune with spirit the way we have outlined in this reading. Now, just to reiterate, the way that's going to show up are the different circumstances, the events that all of you are dealing with, the things that are taking up all of your time, not allowing you to focus on what truly matters, right? It goes back to the devil just needing to take away our life clock minutes. The devil works incrementally, so he's able to weave his way around our lives essentially unnoticed. The devil knows that if he can waste our time with meaningless distractions that come in the form of mindsets, behavioral patterns, and delivered by way of his vessels, people that he chooses to carry his will, he knows that he will run us out of the limited time that we have here and distract us just long enough to keep us away from our intended path. And if he's able to do that, that's a win. Think about it. You being engaged in some sort of conflict with somebody, something absolutely irrelevant to your path for, let's say, maybe an hour, well, that's 1 hour that the devil has stolen from you. Focusing on everything but your mission, what you're manifesting, that's a huge win, okay? Now, we all succumb to this. It's just, again, a part of living inside this world. But if you can get better at being aware of this energy when it comes up to surface, you'll become better equipped at removing yourself once you notice it. And then right here, on the bottom of this deck, we have the devil, okay? So following and confirming everything I'm saying perfectly. Okay, what do we have? The foundation of the reading, Spirit? Perfect. Three of Cups, Cancer energy at the foundation. Now, the Three of Cups from this deck is highlighting all of these distractions. It can be an energy of gossip, and it can also be an energy of partying. You know, this card works because it just really speaks about all of the things that come for you when you're trying to move forward on your path. It's like here you are feeling cheated out of something, like you got the short end of the stick, and then at the same time entertaining this energy, right? So if you were really to extract the most basic message from that energy that I'm getting here for all of you, it would be that you need to look at your environments. There's things that need to go because it's holding you back. It's nothing you're doing wrong. You haven't been cheated out of anything. You are the sum of the 5 closest people to you, right? That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. So whatever that means to you, that needs to be addressed. And again, that's very difficult to do. That's not easy. It's not easy to remove people from your life. It's not easy, or rather, it's not easy to remove yourself, right, from people's lives. Notice how I said you remove yourself rather than removing people? You never put it on others. You take responsibility. But that's not easy. It's also not easy to break mindsets, behavioral patterns, addictions, whatever this may be for you. Okay, this is an umbrella sort of energy. There's many things that fall underneath it, but we all deal with this, and it's our responsibility to pinpoint these things in our lives, break free of them, and align with the divine's will for our life. Because the most important thing here is you not thinking that you've been left out of something. No, instead, Spirit is wanting you to open your eyes and look around you. This takes looking in the mirror as well, right? What is it that I'm missing, right? This is a very healthy thing to do when you're feeling stuck. Just sit there. Ask Spirit, say, what am I missing? I don't get it. You'd be surprised what downloads start to come to you. It's practically magic. You know, you don't really notice it in the moment. Once you're on the other side, you look back and you go, wow, Spirit was working in my life and I didn't even realize it. Because all of a sudden, you're on a new timeline where you're interfacing with that manifestation. What do we have? The sacral place, Spirit? Ace of Cups, water energy at the sacral. So this is confirming what I've been saying about these distractions, okay? The Ace of Cups from this deck speaks about emotional exhaustion, just being completely drained by these events, by circumstance, whatever it is for you, that you start to lose focus. You start to lose grip on what it is you're manifesting. And this, again, has all been meticulously crafted. This is not a coincidence. This is all unfolding exactly in alignment with the plan that this unseen force has put together far before you even started moving down this path. They knew you were coming. What do we have? The sacral, please? 2 of Wands at the solar plexus. So whenever I get this card, it makes me think about what I said in regards to things sort of falling apart in the 11th hour, right? It's like this energy sort of sneaks in from out of nowhere. You don't see it, of course, and then everything just slips through your fingers, right? And you know, I'm getting something here surrounding insecurity with this 2 of Wands at the solar plexus positioning. I feel that this goes back to the message that I delivered in regards to you not knowing why you needed to do something. You just know you need to do it, right? Yeah, I'm hearing something about your environment or a certain mindset. It's going to be different for all of you. This is what's holding you back. There's fear there, right? You're associating some sort of success, some sort of path that you know you need to take to pull something off here with fear. And that's the exact reason why Spirit needs you to go in that direction. The path that sees you going through fear is almost always the direction you need to go in. This is in no way me saying to move in a reckless fashion, okay? This path is meant to lead you through transformation. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have at the heart? Page of Swords. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of gossip in this energy here. Gossip, envy, a lot of, I just heard chatter, right? Now, this could be a message here that's coming through because maybe you're worried about what other people will think, what other people will say. There's a lot of envy associated with this because people feel that you have access to something that they don't know how to access themselves, right? And really, it's just your connection with spirit, which they could access if they wanted to, but they're not willing to put the work in to do that. See, part of the human condition is that we want results immediately, and we want to be able to grab onto them, right? We're very tactile in the way that we need some sort of physical representation, a kind of trophy that identifies the work we're putting in. Now, when it comes to nurturing a connection with Source, Spirit, the Divine, God, it's something that relies solely on your inner knowing and your faith, your intuition, right? The unseen, which makes it very challenging. But the rewards that it brings, if you are dedicated to that space, are far-reaching. You are a spiritual being living out a human experience. Right as I said that, I heard a crow in the distance. It probably didn't pick up on the mic, but the timing was impeccable. And then we have Ten of Swords, Gemini energy, right underneath that Ace of Wands. Says right there, revelation. Okay. Now, this Ten of Swords is representing the ending and the beginning. It's also speaking about betrayal. Okay. So this could be something that you're beginning to uncover in your life right now. You're looking around at your environment. You're just starting to see that maybe you're no longer in alignment with certain people, certain ideals, certain societal norms. Makes you feel betrayed, right? Because why couldn't they just put in the work as well? This is all a part of the process. I remember going through this. I wanted other people that were in my life at that time to also understand what they could access and how they can turn things around in their life. And I quickly learned that it really was none of my business, that all I could do was get on my own path, and maybe they'll see what I've done for myself and want to do the same. All you can do is really lead by example. Okay, now I hear the owl out there. There's a lot of action here for you guys reading. I feel that these messages that I deliver in and around when the crow is crowing and the owl is hooting, those are messages that I feel are going to stick with a lot of you, right? They're meant to just really help you get through, to sort of understand that you just have to leave people where they stand. There's nothing you can do to change anybody. And you also have to come to the conclusion that this path that you're on with spirit, you're only meant to walk it alone at this point in time. Yes, everything changes once you get further down the path, but right now, you got to stay solely focused on what it is you're manifesting. Because if you allow all of these distractions to keep consuming you the way they are, you're never going to pull this through. You're just going to keep spinning your wheels year after year. And before you know it, you got a decade behind you, and then another decade. All the while in the far distance, the devil's laughing, right? Because everything is going to plan. See, he just needed to suck up all of those life minutes from you, get you out of here as quickly as possible. So the mission, your destiny, wasn't fulfilled. What do we have at the throat, please? Temperance, Sag energy at the throat. So this temperance at the throat position is speaking about you coming into calibration with your path, healing, patience, balance, and purpose. You putting meaning behind all of these trials and tribulations that you have gone through. See, this is you taking that first step, right? And this is you on the other side. I just heard a full revolution. But the way it's coming through, Yeah, it's a double meaning. It's like, can be seen as a revolution, meaning a full cycle, right? A revolution around the sun. But it also speaks about you undertaking a revolution in your own life. That's what it feels like when you go through this sort of experience here. You're revolting against the path that everybody else has been taking. What do we have at the third eye, please? Perfect. Seven of Wands, Leo energy at the third eye. Deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. Now, this is you overcoming that feeling of giving up, right? You're taking a stand here. You're pushing back against the system of control, however that shows up in your life. This is the revolution. Seven of Wands underneath the Ace of Wands at the third eye. You're overcoming doubt. You're overcoming fear. You don't need to be perfect. It's not what this is about. All you need to do is handle one task at a time. But right now, what you're being tasked with is going in the direction that you can't make sense out of because something tells you deep inside that you need to do it. What do we have at the crown to close out the reading, please? Perfect. The Fool again. The exalting God, will and new beginnings. Assist with difficult and great undertakings. Okay, so this Fool energy is coming through really strong in this reading. And the Fool sitting at this crown chakra position is highlighting the revelation, is highlighting your connection with Source, and further emphasizing that this is the key to all of this. This is how you pull this off. So in closing, I want you to remember that the weight they hurl at you becomes your wings. The fear they whisper becomes your war cry. And the more the darkness strikes, the brighter the blaze shall be. The world has not yet seen the fury of those who turn every attack into an anthem of victory. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I am open for personal readings. You can find all that information down below. And if this reading resonated with you, drop me a star and/or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.